All right, guys, here we go. In this quick video, we're going to show you how to determine the direction and price action on silver. And a quick note, these techniques, these skills can be used on all assets, commodities, stocks, crypto, whatever you can trade over the internet on a screen. You can use these techniques. So let me give you an overview real quick. How markets reverse. Doesn't matter again if it's a commodity, stock, what have you. It's either a V-shaped recovery like we saw back here, or a W, which is really the secret. That's the strongest and the best. You make a low, higher low recovery, which we saw right here, and we'll go over that in a little bit. And then the other one, the third one, is, well, we've seen it many times in Bitcoin, for example, where you have this, seem like for months, downtrend line, and then slowly you start to consolidate sideways, getting far and away from all this bad trauma, to the downside, and then you start moving up, obviously higher. Okay, but going back in time on silver here, and if you've been watching our videos, you know we've been playing this thing, like a fiddle. But anyway, you had a low here, and then just a little bit of a higher low there. Okay, you don't need a whole lot to see this reversal. And then what we want, the trick is to take out that previous high. Okay, and then this was the go-to, obviously, candle right there. Okay, and this plays out. You can pull up charts of Apple, but anything out there, and you'll see the same process. It just repeats. Okay, if you can learn this, just watch for repeating cycles, and that's why they call it cycles, because the market or any asset bottom starts moving up, comes back in to wherever that support may be, moves back up, back down, back up. As simplistic as that is, that's exactly how these things work. Okay, and then kind of going back there in time, we had a low here, then a lower low, and then that's what set it off, is this higher low that took out that previous high. Okay, just like if this was here, and then we made a higher low, up here, and then we took out this high, of course the W would have been, a lot sooner, obviously. Okay, but let's look at present day. That's why you're here, and that's what you're wanting. Okay, so obviously recently, we topped out up here, came in, made a low, a lower high, okay, a high, lower high, and then now another lower low right in here, that blue dash line is. And that's just for our eye to see it, when we pull up the chart where that current support is, also with the 200, that purple line there. And what we need to do now, our measured move, the way we have it now, is possibly an M formation, where you're up, down, up. So you make a high, lower high, and see how we pivoted right here? Well, when you take out that, it's just like the W moving to the upside. When you take out that high over there, 83 days, 7% of the time you continue up. But in this case, 83 days, 7% of the time you continue to the downside. Okay, so what does all this mean? Okay, right now we bounced off so far the 200. Okay, this is a weekly, every candle is 1 week of price action, but this is a huge red candle here, took out a lot of price action, wiped out a lot of gains. So we have to move up through it. In the best case scenario, basically we're inside bar. In other words, we're trading, holding inside this big red candle. Now you can wick under it and close your candle, inside of it, or wick above it, close your candle inside of it, but you're still inside bar. And if you look at any chart, you'll see many of these setups. Okay, I mean, they come up like all the time, and you just sit on your hands and wait, because price only has, and you've probably already guessed it, only two ways to go. It'll trade in here sideways and dump to the downside, or trade in here sideways and push up of course, to the upside. Okay, so that's what we're going to be waiting on. Now, I know there's a big red candle. I know it could take some quite a while, to work our way up there to get over. But, some big economic event, black swan event happens, on the world markets. This could pop up and over, well, just call it 2450, this red dash line, that last high pivot here, high, lower high, even though it's a lower high, we got to get through it. And then that could, definitely get the party started going over that 2450. And actually, that's what we need to do. We need to clear that 2450, before we start thinking about anything. But right now, unless we get some, economic news and moves in the world economy to get this thing started, I honestly see us moving up into the 20 simple week moving average, that blue line. And it might not take this long. I mean, this is probably 2-3 weeks from now, but however long it takes to come up into that area. And then, by the way, this is not just there because we have that low pivot here, which was previous support. Now it's going to be previous resistance. It's not just that. Also, this is a specific measured move, okay? And a lot of times you don't make it through there, and then you break that low pivot here, and then you're off, back down to the bottom. So basically, you made that kind of a M formation that we talked about earlier. Okay, so near term, what silver needs to do, period in a conversation, is hold over the 200 and that low pivot that it's already put in. Basically, 22. They just call it, for a even psychological number, 2250. Need to hold that area. Lose that area, then of course we'll come down and come into that close to 21. They'll probably wick it just like they did here to 20. See that right there? They came down, wicked it down, hit it. All that was bought up, and then the rest is history. So that's where a lot of big money came in, institutions, who knows, and bought this thing up. And, we've already come down through about that 50% zone. So that's why we're kind of cautious here and suspect of us coming back up and making it the first go around. Like, we could come up here, get another positive week or two, maybe pull back, make a low, higher low here, and then go. And then we do have that big W formation. Okay, so bottom line, number one, we got to hold, that 22, well, just call it 22 flat, 2230, and then we must positively absolutely get over 2350 to have any chance of taking out that previous high there. Okay, and then let me show you how this works in the, how we trade in real world trading. Okay, what I'm showing you now is my own personal account on the micro futures. Okay, if you see up here in the far left-hand corner, micro silver futures, and shameless plug, we do have a course 50% off right now, and I'll cover the contents and everything of that course here in a little bit. But we have that, like I said, for half price going on right now. But as you can see, we caught because we knew the candle formations and knew that we had an 83 to 87% probability of success to the downside after that formation was put in. You can see where we got in here on that red candle, because that had a spinning top indecision candle here, and then we had reversal, basically confirmation on the red candle there, and then we put our stop loss just above that candle where we got in at. Okay, so we're writing it down. Now what we see here, what I pointed out on the other chart, is this red dash line. We have, if you have two or more factors, two or more reasons, if you can identify those two things, then you have an 83, again 87% probability of your thesis is going to work out. Okay, right here we have the 20 low pivot, previous support through here, which is now going to be resistance. This area here that was previous consolidation zone for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. going on a week that was all resistance, so we broke through it. Is going to be resistance again. So you have, two or more factors here that once we get up there, then we could have a, continuation to the downside. Now, if we get in here, start trading sideways, and then pop to the upside, of course, we'll switch out, go long. We've been playing this thing. Well, you can look back on my YouTube, and we've been playing this thing since way back over here, October 22. And like I said, just epic games. But more importantly, if you hold, like a lot of us do, hold physical silver, it's nothing more, like I'd say, discouraging, is to see, the price going down, going down, going down, going down. And, there's nothing you can do about it. We just hold your physical silver. But with this system, trading the micro silver futures, and by the way, I'm going to blow you away here. I hold, well, actually I have 3,000 ounces, but each ounce is like $2,400. Okay. Where in the world, on any exchange, any company, can you get 1,000 ounces for 2,400 bucks? Okay. And then if you believe, like a lot of people, that silver is going to take off at some point, going to, I don't know, 50, 75, maybe 100 bucks plus, just, put the math to that. Okay. 1,000 ounces, 2,000 ounces, whatever, and see how much pocket change that'd make for you. But anyway, in the meantime, what we're doing, taking these profits and rolling in as it's going down, and then it starts reversing, which we're expecting, but we're going to wait until confirmation of that. Roll out, take the profits, buy more physical, and that's how the market is paying for your physical stacks. Okay. Now let me show you what you get on the introduction to micro futures course. All right, as you see here, it's just a, table of contents, real simple deal. The first number of chapters here is all video and written, so, you can pause it, read it, take notes, whatever. You have your Dow, S&P 500, Bitcoin, Ethereum futures, believe it or not, gold, silver, copper, West Texas Intermediate, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so after this, you'll be able to play any macro future, and there's many, many more. I just put the main ones that people are the most interested in. Okay. And then what the best part is that it's real quick, simple, and easy to make a couple of check marks on your, I guess, personal information with your trading exchange, and then they can switch you over to also allow you to do the micro futures. Okay, so you can talk to those guys. But anyway, for example, what you're probably also very much interested in, how long is it going to take? I have a chapter on that to start being successful. Chapter 12, but 80% of your losses is because you're not implementing these 3 simple techniques. I mean, for the price of the course, just that one chapter there is going to, do a 180 on your losses, help you be more successful. Okay. 13, how to find the trend, the 2 most important moving averages on your chart, best technique for finding support and resistance zone. And this is for all assets. Like I was saying earlier, commodities, crypto, stocks, whatever, everything you need to know about the trend lines, calculating the measured moves, which is extremely important. How to determine the candlestick formations that have the highest odds of a breakout or a breakdown with continuation in that direction. I mean, there's books on candlesticks and everything. They're great. The more you know, and that's super. But we put together the top, formations, the top candlesticks that give you the highest odds, highest probability of a successful trade. Okay. And then importance of course, self-discipline, emotional control, and practicing your trading abilities. Okay. Now you can buy this course. I do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. If if you think it's all a bunch of crap, okay. But we show you how to put it all together. And if you'll just, again, have the self-discipline, to follow directions and follow it, to the letter, you're going to be successful. Okay. And this is, of course, a collaboration with Travis over at the Economic Ninja. So anyway, I got a lot of backing. All right, guys. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else you might want to know about here. But thanks for watching. Check us out on Twitter, and we will see you on the charts.